Waya bota now. Ugi bota we say niwa. Na ya fere bahabe uza no gbera. Magwa kan ehun. Mana terun wa dole bo na yi. Solobo no gla owo. Ma ya fere na nirun. Na ma la o da o. Owo wa ri ma. Owe ewo idun ni ma ye. Ewo ni ma na nirun. Eni ma nirun je no solobo la no ge ase ni ma ya fere. Ọba atọpẹ ṣe anyone then na mala ma agwa kan ihe wo ihe bi ha kinewo wo kine owa ni maye ihe so ba na gihe mu maria iru ni manano ya na ogbo egwa ye be na dene na ore wa go teme Victor Bizugbe
de na wo wa de na wo zamu ya bi total afika pa ti wo wa ni wa gbe okoto ni wa dan he emi na ha gwa hu da na tere ma
Wẹ́rẹ́ àwọn ẹ̀rọ ìwé ya àríwé mi ìwé ya lòdẹ́ ọba àtọ́pẹ́ yìí.
Iṣẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ wa ọ̀tẹ̀ pásítọ̀ ọ̀hún lámúrè.
Ìwé ẹ̀dùnọ́gùn mi wà bí ẹnìkẹ́ ká yìí fún ìbùsọ̀ àbàgọ̀ ẹ̀yà rọ̀ wà bí dàn yìí ọ̀sà ọ̀bọ̀ ẹ̀gì màmí òkú yẹn rè gbé o ọba àtọ́pẹ́ yìí.
Iṣẹ́ ìyẹn mẹ ọ̀sà ọ̀bọ̀sẹ̀ ń jẹ inú yẹ o lórí ẹ̀dọ̀bá yọ̀ọ́ká ọ̀rẹ́ dọ̀ yàfẹ́ ẹ̀ náà bẹ̀ ọ̀ká ẹ̀gbọ́n ilẹ̀ ọ̀yàfẹ́ mẹ̀rẹ́gì òtún wà yà sabana la no mokuye ene edo ya fe oba atope ise etaniga ihe ebi no ki imae oni ebote course ema na tie no bi o na tie newo na guve o na tamo ya tie yo benwe na wo we ni wo na ya tie yo ihe ni oriani ihe dole mi yi so pa we keni na dole mi yi muda wo emu he yi mi no ma ye yo boka o ha jo ma ri ra o ha jo ma mu o dole yi won ere
Akabo
keni na dole mi yi ni we ya ri e we ni no nya mo na ri won ihe ni ogbo wa ni ni wa otewe Victor Bizugbe ihe o ye no manora na tie ye wo nora
ihe na tie ye wo ugbe nwa ne ban na we ihe agbada no mo neva no o ga gbe wo bo na o gbe wo bo no pa so pa ihe no mo ye gbe vio ihe keke be bo o pa yan hin ti an ju fi kian ebi ga sunu ma uti hen yo waru da egu ti hen ye mi no ya pris no me ya rie mewe emi ni o bo mo abehe ero emi na ogwe o kaka bo yo bodaye ihe o wa nwe mu na no bu ma mewe ewo no ma he emi na ye no de o na dagme do mo no roto temi na ati hen yo o gwa ma na he o na ye no uligi aro to tonu na ati hen yo wo na ayeke ihe awe muladia we e won na we na wo na ga hie na ga hiusi na ga temu ni giro to ason ya ro avan ya ro do wo bi amase ti awe amu yo ma we obo ati hen yo e ba ni hen na so agbo ma dole mi iyi so pon awon no we na ga gien ari vio emi nu we ne abebi kunuru we ugo re no usie gburuwa ayamu here okeki oho ema ihe ni are ologo owo awo mi oyi ni aye temtem ni awulo popo hu ni ihe na tie me hin awo lo ya ra na ya kokin ani ogbin ani
o si
oba tokpe
ise ma yibu wedi o teme pastor ihe me we zebe ohun saloboa Emi no movement we ya gwani ihe no na te Bible. Ihe no so ero gbesonia a record I view gunda dia be we e Bible wa o ye ve ba pe ya gbe ogbeso. Muda edigun opa we e Bible. Ihe no e Bible no.
Domono wa talk e do no pe wo won tare magwa kana no da e ma na o ye ke we oriaki na mie iriaki na mie bi ye ke o ho na te repercussion no ye olowo ma no le lo ko yan no da wa nyise afia gbele le yan wa ho iyen le yan e ba no salo bana ka bu we bi no wa we yen ye yoto aro ke wu we zokba eri afia gbe we roto afia gbe ke biye we zokba wa we miye umiye wa we mierun e bi afia gbe u we mi afia gbe bere ri mata ba be bi no wa o salo bo ajagbona je unwe iye ilele ya fe no na te 10 commandment no ile ori gbe ni no ro iye ora okike thou shall not kill ugagi kill ne oni uriye abiye okike ema we no ti meka e ba no highway emi na ko aro ayiso emi wa akoro e ma yo bo ma ko aro wa kemi ete egbo ma odeno do zori egbo ma wa lelu obo ni oyiwe na ge benu tai ban ge no tolo ma gbe
na te
irepe wa fi egbo una fi ri eso o mana kan ya tun mu won irepe oreba o be bon me nyawe obo na ebe tolo we be bo yen mi sunu da we o sika muene eriye mi iyeki o ezepo ye ne gbe fi we ken we won we tolo ano we ya tolo nu ya ewu egbe ya ne inwina rene egbe ya tolo wa ne o wa ni iye ma eveil e ameve la ko wa ye ga so agripa so be na irepe ya ba e ya gon saman yo egbe ne eriye mi iyeki we ga wene ni o se ti gari eniyan e mo okeke e ma nu da iye to si o ma koto iye oyo ma mita iye ogbo ma di ne yimi iye osi ologo ma yo ma gbe dopa emi opa no gire egbi yen e ma ni bunro emi we lagbera ni o ma ge mi yen no unda o sa bra je mi fe newe ewe urawe urai uri yen ewo na urawe uri yen be no be aye we be no wa ege ne ke na gbotion ege ebe yen na bon me gbo a ona wo mo pa ma den yen unda era ro wa yero wa yen gi kia o sa lo wo dua no dege ni bro pa ma ri egbe la na ona tie ege eke o gi gba odu ona we ha ona wo yen no sa oba tie we ona we bo ni akinu wo we mi ya ona wo tun e wo no pe na tie ebe o wo yon maka gba o ebe yon maka be ri e o boje o e dado o yon ge yen ne ogbugbo eri ebe yen no ge oso won na we ya boy ka be lodo pa ona we wa we we ma me ni we ona wo ma iye we ni ka ma na we iye enu baba iye de nu aduza ona we esagion tun enu to mie ovie buye ga de ne ona we gin ta ma wona we ebe bo ahian ona we nda ebe akporu edi wa ona we iye ro we dagbon ne no ri mi o kan afiru gbegbo e kan awa uwe la ma wa ma be la wo wa u sa me no ma won ma be nwa me no ko bo were ona ti ran de ne aba we gbe mi ade ke to afie de ne na unda ori yen ne o sa no go do ati ne wa gbo ma u ya ri azigo u gbe emu fua u gbe emu fi eze o we ga o ga ma mi no dere we iye ni de o ga logo ma ni emi ese ezo oba atokpe
ise anyway wa da matana wa ni gbama wa da matana wa no gbera gbiye wa da matana o va ra ko o yu e akara ni yo ya bio ugbo wani awe no gbo wa we wa o ya ari azen igo umeke na fe umeke na bowa umeke na hin moto ihe ni hi ọwa na onye mi nuwe ya rie o le tinye we ihe ma won ebedo awe bo ya ro awe bo ni na ya meti ya bege na yo amu wa we aya ti ebo na yo we no fi aye okwa he isago eya ebo ya fe ni redo ima awe bo ni no mi ke na no yo amu wa no so kwa no wo ko we nu mana ze da ya we bo una tie keka tie ni oso wa ni gbe ihe ni oso wa ni oso gbe ihe omo iriria ihe owa egene de ben mawe una gbuhun ogede mu yoto o ze ka yebe omunya ekeni nu weze yo ni ihe no owa we na se wona mo wede ni ihe ni gbe okike pe okewu so kwa na ye na ihe ile loweke oweke aru ihe no o even weta una tie no wa na wo ko dawe ihe ni o le lese kinori ase ihe ni wa ima ho na mi ngbeso we e ma ni gba ori ma ni age tie ni ma wa mi na ye na ni ya zere we ne oba ma ye ni awe ejo we awe awo kagele tai yin abi he so pa kagele so yin tie kwaro awo wori eni efe yo eni efe bu veni inu aru odo fie wori ye la to ma gwebo tele yi awe no bion we wo pa ihin to ori ye fie po benu we be hin ma se awe no ma ko se de ye gba o ma da ro ba o ma da ro wo we o la to ma be wa vi osisi ai agun akon ai mi ai ko kule akwa webo so po we wo ni o we bo ya ye ekere ni ga vi ese ebobo wede ebode na adowa edolo pe o hun da we emi ni hen o yin mata na we ma no ma ri hen o te me bisugbe ihe
mami na wa gwa na ihe na wa ha na asubo ye gbe ihe oyere no ha mo ma gbe ye fi igbera wu nebute SSS o da we yinu ge ewe hu da e ma so wa re wo o wi atuba gbebo mu eyeliwe ni ra ri to yan atubero wa mu ogbe ori wa o ga kian so pon be ni amana ra we yan amana du o yi hu da we etigu we ara mewe yan ma we ropo na gbin aberi o gbe na ba ya ogi asin de mi na ya sin ka ni gbin yan ya ti hen mara gele we na ni mari o ya yi na o ya ti hen yo mami ihe ona be mu eyo we negi o ma iwe eri gbera ekenu pe ise o to na we 50 by 100 we wo pa wa o ma be ro wa u ya mu 100 by 100 or 150 u ya mu no nya nu we fi obo yi ni se ti go esi yen hu digo ego ebi no kan ya ki eke ori hen o ti hen no ori oni no kan abe ho no gwa lo ma no wa be mi ku ni e kan si eyo wa we ga ti e ogwa le mi ami e wo won gbege awe no de o eze po ye wo kokko ni kuluku gbodo akun egbemu okun egbemu nu we ihe ni oroyo egbene o ga fe pe yen do kin o kan du adowe ya eri o ma na te o de pe awe ye ti ladan wo wa hu da be mi ku no ru ihe oyo egbene o ma ko ma no we mi no ma ai be okeka we be no aye awe me ne ga ya bo wa adowe na yimia ara yimia abe se ti be ki he gbori egbe ba edo yimia yo ne bowe no re be no ho awe u ya confess why make a confessional statement ya mi eku masalobua osalobua yabo we eri obe ye o ma no we ni ihe na oyo wa ni la egbe ni ona do mi eku ona yegbe bo awe se ni ha o we fo egbere hu do ni o ke ni ma yo bo wo we ya le ni he ma ke ni ma de yegbe gbe hu da e na yegbe vio igban no e le gbe wi o ma ko wa no ga we sarieti ni o ma wu ya ri awo o wu ya dole wo yi e tinari enu we na ya dole wo yi ihe wa esike edugburu weye aga owo mo na wa bebi ku una fi aito una ari ya webo ewe ri ropa so pa o wa ni na fi gbogbo yi do ne ra o na samo go ba meze awe ho kekan we ri on gbe iguma gbe kekan ihe kan na we gbe oba atokpe
ihe magwaka ni wa we no da yi mana we fio boy gbido urie ni eso na owu e urie ge owu we mu la wa uduro mu ya no wa no nya na asora o ya ri àwọn mi wa we ebode uda ihe ofian utome ona te so mi piye a gbo so wa wo owu kigbesi ya gbọ́sọ́ ọmọ ìmọ̀nìbù yẹn wà á pa má káwé yẹn gbélé yẹn o bọ́tí ní ìbùwọ́ yẹn fi ọbọ̀ yìí dò ìyàwó ìrìnà má kẹ́kẹ́ ẹ̀ẹ́dùn náà ìrìnà èmi hìn ẹ̀yà náà mi ẹ̀wẹ̀ níwọ̀n ẹ̀rẹ̀ nẹ́dẹ̀ ká sùnú yọ̀ fìyà sùnú yọ̀ fà ẹ̀ bá sùnú yẹ̀ bọ̀ níbù tí ẹ yára mú ẹ náà mi ẹ̀wẹ̀ ọmọ máa rò họ wọ́n gẹ́lẹ́ yá tí yẹn ní yemi ọmọ náà wé mi ni iye náà fẹ́ wọ́n wárọ̀ lórí mà ní ẹ̀dọ́ máa rí okó ayàbí yẹn ó ní ìmọ̀nìyàn mẹ́ àwòrán mẹ́yà ó fi yẹn gbèsò ọwọ́ kò náà ọwọ́ ẹ̀ ọ̀fẹ́ owó ẹ̀yọ̀ ha ọwọ́ yẹn má fi owó ẹ̀yọ̀ ha ẹ̀wọ̀ ẹ̀dọ́ fi yẹn ẹ̀sọ́ owó ẹ̀yẹn yẹn gẹ́lẹ́ fi owó ẹ̀yọ̀ ha àbẹ̀dọ̀ wẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ rà mí wẹ́ èmi ni má ọmọ àrùn wa funda ọmọ ìmọ̀bí kí ládíá ilé náà yá wà àánú yàkó wẹ ọ̀rí àwà àhó ni ọ̀rọ̀ àwà ihe náà ni wọ́n ẹ̀mí ọwọ́ ọ̀sẹ̀ ẹ̀ wẹ́ tó bú ọ náà rò kọ́ àfihàn ọ̀nà fíwẹ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀nà fíhàn ọ̀tọ́ mẹ́ nẹ́gìn àbá rẹ̀ dàgbé ya ihe ẹ̀ máa ẹ̀rìnà sí kẹgbẹ́ sọpá òbọ̀ rẹ̀ rí káàtà sí ihe ọ̀dọ̀ lèmi yí ẹjẹ mi rí à ẹjẹ mo rí à wẹ ẹwẹ ọmọ náà wẹ nana gbèmí náà wà dùn ẹ wẹsẹ wẹgẹ náà dẹ ẹ dẹ kókò owó wa wà lọ ẹ èmi náà rí à ọkẹ pọlọ òtẹ ẹka ó wà àzíbá ó wà dé kókò ó dé kàn òtẹ ẹka àwà ẹyẹ nà iye sọ̀rọ̀ lọ àyẹ̀wò ẹlú ẹ bá fà ọmọ èmi náà sí ẹ ní dáadẹ wò wẹrẹ ọ náà má mẹ èmi má ní ọmọ èmi náà sí ẹ nana mi ẹwẹ ìyàn ìlú ẹ ìlélè láti lọ uhi àwà ìyẹn ẹ lọhì thou shall not kill thou shall not steal rẹ ra rẹ gbòdò yìí ọ̀rẹ́ báyìí ní ìwé tara ni wọn ẹ ìyẹn ẹ nà ìdádùn yìí ní dádọ ẹ lè lè wẹwò kéèna lè lè kóòtù kéèna lè lè wó wà kéèna lè lè awérìmà kéèna ẹgẹ bàbá hàn èmi ní wúnà ẹ̀mà wúnà rẹ̀ wọ̀n ní ugbómi náà gbẹ̀yọ ọ̀rọ̀ ṣùgbọ́n rí yẹn ugwu èmi àmì ẹ̀yìn ẹ̀yìn ni ma ọ̀sọ́bọ̀ náà mi máa fà náà mi èmọ̀ ni máa bí ẹ̀yà fà wò dé àwà kìí yẹn ọ̀tẹ́ ẹ̀ pàṣọ.
dọ́mọ̀ ọ̀nàná ẹ̀bọ̀n nínú ìwé ẹ̀dùn wà mí náà yà náà náà dé sínú káyọ̀ ìyẹn èmi náà wọ́n ká máa ń wíkí mi rà náà máa ń gbó zẹ́bù wọn agbọ̀n bí ẹ̀dọ́ pàtàkì nìwẹ̀ kí náà yé mi náà mẹ́ mọ́ àwẹ́kọ́ wọn ẹ̀wẹ̀ èmi kémi náà àgbọ̀n náà lẹ́mẹ̀ ẹ̀rọ wàwé mi ẹ̀sì ẹ̀rọ wàwé mi dàn ẹ̀rọ ẹ̀mí yẹn náà èso rọ̀ náà tiẹ̀ ọ̀sánwó do ayagbọ̀n ọ̀nà yẹ yùn ẹ̀ erun òun àfihàn gbé ọ̀nà bẹ̀ yẹ yùn ẹ̀ ìyẹn nuwe kenu nyime ko nyime nugu nyi okeke ole lomani uga nyise afiangbe buwede wa be nyonge da una te iyeni obi bo mande usalobo atai ebi no wa wi eje yoto aro kebu owe zokpa yemeji yoto afian gbe kebi we zokpa nunda emi no ma ko oro iye soro na tie no ma wawe esoro na ya bo agbon to agbon oro ugawe uyegbe vio eso yiye ya boebo beneri mata eba aimogo wegbo aiwogo beze aiwogo gaba bi yeso iye no eme soro na mego akwon mi awona ya gwa luto e ara iwe na weto we mi ye ugbeso ko fi owe yiwa awe owe mi ye ibi ehun mi a odo ehun mi nda oleba ene odo bo ya we ma wa na ni iye olawa ni ado awon mi wewewe ama eweri omo wa de fe dokma emi wa sunu emi yon lawa ataye yo to ni aya rile owani aya rile eboni aya rile won tagbon leno saloba rile won tagbon na orile sonya unye ugawu bene ni mata bible no wa be oya ye bota thou shall not ugawu iye le lo mani wa be we ni esi afian gbe le lo e be soro na osaloba wa afian gbe mu de ni esi ni ewu yen ga mi ni ko no ro emi o ko emi yin kin ma afian gbe be kin da do bonu ri fien mi ge orewe iye na ya hwe iye nu we zese yi aya ebu edowe igwe gbe ta iye nu zese yi iye nu we ya hwe kwa aya ebu edowe oyo mana oyo we na ge o ma no ri gbe dia oji no ri gbe dia awe na ede kotuwe wa ire se ba ave bu edebe yo we edowe na ave bu ezo na be gu ori mari e ma we ta fan for ye ri gbe dia ni olowo ma ni ye lele kian ede na iwa wewe aze yoyoyo ejoji kai we ofo wa ya gbewa ede de agi mi won se na la ona zobo mi miye nunda okeke oho e ma
wesi anyway na zobo bi koko ko ma edoro pe wa mi eni ni buro ni hen si yebo olowo wa ni hen si yebo obo sense o ki ma so bowo na mi we ihe osaba no eje mu eworia awano rebo uyinaji ya se gbabe abe politician ni se boyo otesogebo iya ori we ni he se eminu we inu awuna won le lo je nu na tala won mu we iye ke aya re ma we nu wa re ma osaba roju wa ya ma supa aiwe lo de mata o ligi no rona emi orusin na ye na ni bana wa la gbogbe le mana uwa mi ni abi ode not odo awa ari owebe awa fi o si abi oda e moni re owebe ni die ni emi no kin awa fi an lawo ari tede mi sowo awon na mu go ra kire ihe we ni we to bo no wo ni ibi weru ni so ihe ewe wa ru ni no ri o si lade we na mu we go na hayo we no wani mana me no ru e wa ge he ihe ni ki eni ya ki ni wa e bo na wa la wo abe o te se ge wa ru so no ri ko se na wari no wari he we no aru no man na ne no
when I saw John Ebo yo gwe John fi obo ye o ven o keke are mu na be o ya mu na wa so a ori
ni anyway aka ya wese
do no pe bo na la wona ye me na we mi o we na tebe ma no ma mi ori o ebuku na la wo re iyen ma be gbe o se mi ame osuwu osu ipapa osi olowo ma yo wa na la na yo bi ma si emi ni bi ibi o hadori oja ebo keke oba atope
ise atame
ihe no ma ye gbedede gbe owe ununaya ti he reye ununaya ti emi ame ete ununa ti yari bae hu do ni ikepa na yiri opa yin oku wa gi ma le ni he hu da were igban re bo ki le gbe wi owo no re gbe mi ni ne o ga we o ga ko kieke o se ti yari emi ebe de na akwe afi were no ro yari pa egwa de ma gbe ide to ku itu wa ya ni be na mi ho na tue awe evonire ekabeto tue manire igosa oba tokpe
me anyone me tue agbonya fe keniri ye kovia keniri yo kori on ode ke ya fe osaraba wo no mu here no dade bo ya fe oba tokpe
ITV, certainly the best.
Thank you very much for joining us on the program Healthy Living. What is the kidney?
The kidney is an excretory organ in the body, which is for metabolism.
Tuberculosis affects many organs in the body, but the common ones it usually affects is the lungs.
Epilepsy is a neurological problem.
Okay.
It is an injury in the brain which causes someone to begin to convulse, to go into fits.
It is curable, but the cure is a long-term thing.
If you eat well and avoid those risk factors that will make your immunity to be down, then the risk of contracting tuberculosis will be reduced.
If you're healthy, then you're wealthy.
ITV, certainly the best.
Thank you very much for joining us on the program Healthy Living. What is the kidney?
The kidney is an excretory organ in the body, which is for metabolism.
Tuberculosis affects many organs in the body, but the common ones it usually affects is the lungs.
Epilepsy is a neurological problem.
Okay.
It is an injury in the brain which causes someone to begin to convulse, to go into fits.
It is curable, but the cure is a long-term thing.
If you eat well and avoid those risk factors that will make your immunity to be down, then the risk of contracting tuberculosis will be reduced.
If you're healthy, then you're wealthy.
ITV, certainly the best.
This is ITV.
Certainly the best.
Everyone, and thank you for joining us in the program Woman to Woman. I'm Adisu Welsawage, and so we're doing part 2 of what we started last week, paternity fraud. We heard last week why, when, how, and all of those excuses, and we thought that 1 or 2 people will call in. So today we're having part 2 of that topic, and today's topic is legal and psychological implications of paternity fraud. We're going to look at the legal angle and, of course, the psychological angle. I have in the studio with me Dr. Igedosa Oseme Bartholomew. He's a consultant psychiatrist, Department of Mental Health, University of Benin Teaching Hospital. A pleasure to have you join us today, Doctor.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. Pleasure. All right. And then joining us via Zoom is Tega Eswakbo, Esquire. She's a principal partner, Justice Shield Consult. Hello, Tega. We meet again. Thank you for having time to join us on the program. Okay, let me come to my doctor in the house. So, Doctor, hope you don't mind me using your first name.
Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you. Okay, Doc. Let's look at because we started this topic last week, so I don't want to ask you what is paternity fraud, but as a doctor, especially in this field, what's the emotional impact of paternity fraud on the man?
Well, there is a lot of emotional stress, psychological stress that a man experiences in the circumstances of paternity fraud. You can, a very good way to imagine it is to say that somebody is bereaved, like the person has lost a dear one. Or imagine when somebody loses his father or mother or child, close relatives and so on. It can be the emotional turmoil can be as bad as that, because in paternity fraud you are made to realize, I mean, haven't been unraveled, you are made to realize that the person you have always thought you are the biological father of is no longer your son or is no longer your daughter. And the psychological impact of such awareness, like I said, is as severe as somebody who is bereaved. And the person goes through similar stages of bereavement, according to some psychologists. That is the popular stage by Kubler-Ross, when they talk about denial, anger, bargaining, depression, then finally acceptance. So it's a whole lot, and it can lead to a lot of psychological distress, and in fact it can lead to a mental disorder if not well addressed.
Okay, when when such a thing happens, like you said, denial will always come. Is it really true? Is it not true? And all of that. There's usually this conflict within the man. How can a man cope with all of this? How can a man cope with it?
Well, it is important to first of all admit that it's a difficult thing to cope with. That's very important. Why this is important is because if we must address the concerns of such people, one of the best things we can do to address their concern is to show them empathy. And empathy implies that you must be able to imagine yourself in that kind of situation. So
it's a difficult thing to do,
Yeah, so it is important to realize this, to be able to help such a person and to understand how they cope. And so, because if you do, you understand why they can be angry, you understand why they can be sad, you understand why they can lose their ability to concentrate, you understand why they feel restless, you understand why they are not able to sleep at night. So it is really a lot for them, and one of the things they can do is to accept the reality. And the unfortunate reality here is that that person you used to believe that you are the biological father of, the son, the daughter, you are no longer the biological father, and that has been made known to you. So certainly there will be outrage, there will be anger, yes, and those are acceptable, and that is the truth. But all those things must be controlled. Otherwise, that raw emotion can lead to something more dangerous.
Is that being able to control all of that we want to talk about now, Doctor? How can we help? Because the last place such a person will want to go to is to seek help in a hospital, because the person will tell you that I don't have problems with my head, I can reason well and all of that. The last person that a victim, let's put it that way, we want to see is a psychiatrist or a psychologist. So how do we help these people, those of us who are maybe friends or relative of those victims, so to speak, victim of paternity fraud? How do we stand in for that person to make sure that there is no breakdown in that person's mental health, no depression, no violence whatsoever?
Yeah, one of the things the place to start from is, like I said, one needs to understand that whatever it is, what the person is going through, the paternity fraud realization, is a difficult thing to cope with by anybody and by whatever standard. Then the next step is to, as much as possible, support the person. And how can you support the person? Let the person realize that the entirety of his life is not about being a father to a particular person. There is still much more to the individual's life than being a father. Because why this is important is because if an individual do not realize that his self-concept as an individual is not entirely about I am the father of A, I am the father of B. The immediate thing the person will do when he realizes that he is no longer the father of certain person is to go and child. Start thinking of committing suicide. And
sometimes children, not just one or two, maybe 4 or 5 children, after he has invested so much. That is crazy.
Yeah, certainly.
Okay, let me ask you this one before I go to Tega, who is already waiting for me online. What is the psychological, or let me put it this way, does the woman or the child or children share in this emotional trauma?
Yeah, certainly.
And if yes, how?
Yes, they share in it. In fact, it is known that there are different levels of victims in case of paternity fraud. But the primary victims are referred to as the misattributed father, or the non-biological father, who is the first or the primary victim. The second primary victim is the child. So to answer your question, the child or the children involved also share in this psychological distress. And to some extent, even the wife or the mother of the child. So for the child, it is also a loss of identity, because the child just doesn't realize that the person he or she
as
used
we
to
call him
look
father
up to as the father is no longer the father. Is enough to put so much pressure and stress on the person's brain, enough for the person to start having inability to sleep, enough for the person to now having inability to concentrate. And so when the child goes to school, you say everything you want to say, the child cannot pick out one because the child is distressed in his or her brain. That is if the child goes to school at all. Then in the night, the child cannot sleep. The reason is not far-fetched. The reason is because what the child considers fundamental to him, or what the child considers fundamental to her, is his or her identity. And that identity is attached to, in quotes, his father. And immediately the child realizes that this person, I've been lied to all these years. This person is not actually my father. The whole chemistry of the child's brain is distorted, and there cannot be a better description of what psychological turmoil can be.
That's quite sad.
To that situation.
That's quite sad. When we come back, we'll come and ask you more questions. All right, let me go to My friend Tega, who's already waiting on the other side. Tega, how do you do? Let me hope and pray that we're able to hear each other. Now, Tega, what does Nigerian law hold for a victim of paternity fraud, and what are the penalties? Are there explicit laws?
So unlike other jurisdictions like UK, US that have separate jurisdiction for paternity fraud, we do not have what we know as paternity fraud as a crime in this jurisdiction. I mean, in Nigeria. Do you understand? So if Mr. A discovers that the children or the child that he has been claiming to be his is no longer his, he cannot, enforce it in the court of law to say, okay, I'm going to enforce my right that paternity fraud, my paternity has been breached. So we do not have that kind of law in Nigeria. But we have other means of going about seeking for compensation or for damages under our law, which can be under torts, talking about the tort of deceit, for example. I don't know if you can hear me.
Please go ahead.
Can you hear me, please?
I can hear you.
Yes, talking about the tort of deceit. Now, this is based on what we a Latin maxim we know as ubi jus ubi remedium. That is, where there is a wrong, there is a remedy. So under the thought of deceit, for example, the man can sue for damages. The man can sue for compensation for the money he has spent, bringing up this child over the years, for psychological trauma, for emotional trauma. That's one of the ways the man can seek redress in court. Another way the man can seek redress in court is by dissolution of the marriage. Of course, on the basis of adultery. The evidence of the child stares the court in the face when we talk about adultery. So you need no further evidence, especially when a court-supervised DNA has been conducted and it shows that the man is not the father of the child or the children. So that is a very good way to prove adultery in seeking for dissolution of the marriage. Of course, the man can also seek for to disclaim responsibility of the children or the child in question, because the child would have been bearing his name, in his birth certificate, travel documents, and all that. So the man can approach a court first to seek for a court-supervised DNA, and where it proves that he's not the father of the child, the man can go ahead and now seize responsibility, fatherly responsibility to these children.
Is it possible for the man, assuming something like that happens somewhere, and then the man says, okay, fine, you have done this to me, no problem, but I want these children, but I don't want you as the woman. Is it possible for him to say, okay, I don't want the woman anymore, I don't want the marriage anymore, but because those children were born in my house under my name, I can claim those children? Is it possible for the man to so do? Because he has invested so much.
Very well. You know what? Yes. You know what the court looks at in cases like this is the best interest of the child. A child has grown up to know a man as his or her father. And then you want to just take the child away from the man and say, Mr. B is now your father. The court must look at the best interest of the child. Now, there is a law under our Evidence Act, Section 165, that states that the children of a marriage, the children born during a valid marriage, is presumed to be the children of that man. And until it is reported, the father will continue to be the father of that child or those children. So yes, he can decide to say, I want to have the children.
So he can still claim the children as his.
Yes, he can still claim the children as his. As a matter of fact, there is a Supreme Court decision on this, that as long as the children are born during the pendency of a valid marriage, the children can still be claimed to be the children of the man.
I'm going to take a very short break now. When we come back, Tega, I'll come back to you. And of course, Dr. Oseme in the studio. We'll come back to you in a moment. Let's take a very short break and we'll be right back. It's paternity fraud we're talking about. Thank you so much for joining us again on the program, Woman to Woman. Don't be surprised you're seeing a man on show. Yeah, he's a professional and he's talking to us about the kind of problem the man can suffer when this happens. So, doctor, a man has said that he's not the biological father of a child he has invested in so much, that he has loved. Sometimes it could be 5 children, it could be 10 children. And that man may be so old he will not be able to have children again, or may not be interested in having children again. Now, the mental state of the man, the mental state of the child or children. I don't want to talk about the mental state of the woman, because I think, I shouldn't have an opinion, but a woman who can be betting for another man right in her husband's house needs to be checked. I mean, that's not a normal, it's not a normal behavior. Though it is eating so deep into the fabrics of society, where a lot of women are doing all of this. Is this a new fashion trend now, to marry one man, stay in his house and be betting another man's baby under the name of the man you are living with? So, doctor, the question is, this man who, some men may not present, they may not do anything, they may not see anything, they may just be laughing and smiling, but I know deep down they are hurting. So such a man, how can we help him to avoid violence, to avoid depression, to avoid committing suicide, or to avoid doing something terrible on him, because society will judge him? The culture, everything will laugh at the man. The man who is supposed to be a victim will not be victimized. And then the child too. How do we help that child to cope? Because the child may suffer a lot of damages in future.
Yes, certainly. The man and the child, they would need a lot of psychological support for obvious reasons, as I said earlier. Do they need to go to hospital to find a psychiatrist or psychologist? Yes, that will be very important.
They have to.
Yes, very, very important. But most importantly, it's also good for the general public or relatives of such people. So, because oftentimes you would hardly find such person on their own going to say, I want to seek a professional help.
Yes, even somebody who is all right, find it difficult to go to the hospital.
So oftentimes it is important to educate the people, the masses, and especially the people around such persons, that they shouldn't be judgmental towards people like that. They should understand that the person is going through a lot of stress. Some of them that refer to as psychological conflict, or some that were refer to as attachment dissonance, for example. Imagine having realized and you are not taking care of somebody you now know is not your child, or haven't realized the person is not your child, and you are imagining all the investment, all the emotion, all the effort that you have put into bringing up such a person, and the fact that this person is not dead. I mean, the child is still alive under your nose. Everything has just changed totally about who you are, who that child is and what the relationship between the both of you are. So it's a lot of dissonance that is capable of actually breaking down any human being. So what is expected of, I would rather want to talk more about what is expected of the individual is to ensure that he or she he realizes the circumstances, agree that it has happened, and figure out the way forward as much as possible. So while that is important, even the relatives, this is a time not to be judgmental towards this person. This is a time to give support to such individual. I'm emphasizing this because, like I said earlier, most of the time they are not the people who choose by themselves that they want to go and seek help. It is the people around them who identifies this psychological state that this person has found himself, and talk to him as a relative and say, brother, I think you may need to seek help. But we also need to encourage people like that to speak up. And unfortunately, in our environment, one of the ways we assume somebody is a strong man is for the person not to cry when ordinarily the situation demands that he should cry.
Men don't cry.
They say men don't cry.
They don't cry.
But when you are in such a state, one of the ways of healing yourself is actually to cry. because crying itself is therapeutic.
It doesn't make the man a weakling. It doesn't make him to appear weak.
Exactly,
A weakling.
but unfortunately, that is not what we were taught from childhood, even up to now. Everybody says a man should not cry. So when the man is psychologically distressed, he should still not cry. Therefore, bottling up the pressure, the psychological pressure, and further damaging himself.
Okay, Tega, are you with me? Is Barrister Tega with me?
Yes,
all right, Tega, let me ask you this question now. It seems that a woman who has committed paternity fraud usually walks free. Even if the man stop paying, stop taking care of the children, divorce her, and all of that, send her away from his life, and I still feel that the woman walk free. Isn't there something the woman can go in for, either jail term or, you name it, a fine or something that will serve as deterrent to that woman?
Yes, definitely. Under the penal code, which applies to some of the northern states in Nigeria, the woman can go to jail for a term of 2 years or more, because under the penal code, adultery is a crime. So if the man sues the woman for adultery, she can go to jail for 2 years or more. And apart from that, the woman can also be made to pay for psychological damage, emotional damage, and what have you. So it's not as if she's going to walk free. Well, I think it's because
the woman pay for all of that. This is our agenda. How much can we pay?
It's because they'll be able to evaluate all that, depending on the evidence that is put forward before the court. And of course, also depending on the age of the child. You know, the child has finished nursery, primary, university, you know. Of course, the woman will be made to pay for all that years of spending money unwarranted.
Okay, so briefly, Tega, how can the man seek redress now? How can the man seek redress?
Yes.
I would like to know.
Yes.
So just do that briefly in 30 seconds if you can.
Yes, like I said before, where there is a wrong, there is a remedy.
Yeah.
Remedium. Now, the man can seek redress by filing a civil suit.
Okay.
Civil suit in terms of maybe dissolution of the marriage, and the evidence will be adultery, psychological trauma, emotional trauma, and all that. The man can also come under criminal law, under the sort of deceit, you know, to claim damages and all that. So yes, that's one of the ways the man can seek redress in court. Of course, the man can also ask the court for a court-supervised DNA test. You know, and
all right,
thank you.
Thank you so much, Tega. Doctor, please, maybe in 30 seconds, what's your parting word for that man who may suffer paternity fraud, who is suffering paternity fraud, and then the children too? What's your parting word before we leave? Your parting statement, rather.
For the man, I just want to say that the end of silence is the beginning of healing.
Okay.
So the man needs to realize that silence over psychological stress and bottling them up is not a solution to handling such stress.
Okay.
So speaking up and seeking help is very important for the individual to get himself back on track. And for the child,
yes,
it is also important that the child should be helped by everyone around and ensure that the child seek help. It is very, very important.
Okay, that's interesting. Thank you so much, Doctor. You may want to know that paternity fraud has gone so deep. It is tearing the society apart. It has torn marriages apart. And unfortunately, it is only when, or sometimes the man may just know, somebody may just be a whistleblower, or when they want to travel and they need to do DNA tests. Now, so once you want to travel and your wife is refusing DNA tests, Oga, go and order for a DNA test so that you'll be sure that your kids are yours. I'm just wondering why DNA tests cannot be done at birth, so that the man will know whose child is taking home.
Well,
is it impossible?
It is not impossible,
okay,
but oftentimes in our environment, because it is also, of course, it's not free of charge.
Yes.
There must be some level of suspicion before you say, I want to do this. Because the next thing is it a regular, is it like a malaria parasite test?
Okay.
Is it like a genotype test?
Okay.
So there must be some level of suspicion before you say, I think I want to do this. So there must be an indication, typically, especially in our environment.
All right, for our men, doctor said, words of marble, the end of silence is the beginning of healing. Please speak up so that you don't die in silence. Thank you for being part of our show today. We'll see you again next week. Bye-bye. Thank you, doctor.
This is ITV.
Certainly the best.
ITV, certainly the best.
Thank you very much for joining us on the program, Healthy Living. What is the kidney?
The kidney is an excretory organ in the body, which is for metabolism.
Tuberculosis affects many organs in the body, but the common ones it usually affects is the lungs.
Epilepsy is a neurological problem.
Okay.
It is an injury in the brain which causes someone to begin to convulse, to go into fits.
It is curable, but the cure is a long-term thing.
If you eat well and avoid those risk factors that will make your immunity to be down, then the risk of contracting tuberculosis will be reduced.
If you're healthy, then you're wealthy.
ITV, certainly the best. ITV, certainly the best.
On the news tonight, Governor Pebolo unveils Ramat Park redesign plan to boost tourism. FRSC Corps Marshal Shehu Mohammed sensitizes Edo officers. President Tinubu nominates Tax Committee Chairman Oyedele as Minister of State for Finance. FG says no going back on ban of sachet alcohol, warns against production sales. Incumbent Lagos State APC chairman re-elected in Congress. Good evening and welcome to ITV Network News. I am Wilson Omasho. And joining us from Abuja Network Center, we have Victor Ogani. Victor, how are you doing tonight? All right, and from our Lagos Network Center, we have Marcelina Nkwo. Mercy, it's a pleasure seeing you tonight.
Beautiful evening to you, Wilson. Good to see you tonight.
And starting off from our Benin Network Center, Governor Monday Okpebolo has unveiled plans to transform Ramat Park in Benin City into a major tourist attraction as he inspected ongoing projects in Edo South Senatorial District. The governor, who was also at Saple Road, Iyanomo, Obaiti and adjoining communities, said the redesign of Ramat Park would not only address traffic decongestion, but reposition the area as a center for leisure and tourism. Government House correspondent Kingsley Uchebu reports.
Governor Bolo, as part of his routine inspection, was at the near-completed Ramat Park flyover and erosion control works at some adjoining streets in the area. While addressing journalists, he said the environment would be redesigned to reflect modern urban standards and serve as a relaxation hub and a sought-after tourist destination for residents and visitors.
You can see the speed at which these people have taken this project. By the time we are done with this place will look like Dubai. We are not stopping just on flyover. We are going to build a park here.
Representative of the contractor handling the project, Mr. Lee, assured the governor and his delegation that the project is on schedule and nearing completion.
We're going to finish the major wall along the Ramat Park and the flyover by April. I think we can finish all the work by May.
Governor Bolo, who also inspected the ongoing Benin-Saple-Warri Road project, described the reconstruction work as a demonstration of the federal government's renewed hope agenda in action. He said within 1 year and 3 months in office, his administration has recorded significant achievements, attributing the progress to the support of President Bola Tinubu and the cooperation of Edo residents.
Look at what we have achieved within a short time. We could have not done this if we are not getting the blessing of Mr. President. This road, before now, you can't pass this road. You see the area where we came from. It took us hours just within half a kilometer. But today, a lot is happening. Tell me who will not vote for Mr. President as far as they are seeing what is happening in Edo.
Governor Bolo rounded off the inspection at the ongoing Catholic Charismatic Renewal Road in Ubuoko, with a strong commitment that road infrastructure remains his administration's top priority, while the transformation of Ramat Park into a tourist attraction will stand out as one of his administration's signature projects. From Benin, Kingsley Uchebu, ITV News.
Discipline remains the bedrock of any successful organization. Without it, there can be no effective command structure, operational efficiency. This was the position of the Corps Marshal of the Federal Road Safety Corps, Shehu Mohammed, at a sensitization program on the reinforcement and strengthening of control in field commands held for personnel of the Edo Sector Command on Tuesday. Jaladojo reports.
Hall 1 of the John Odige Oyegun Public Service Academy played host to the Corps Marshal, who was represented by the Deputy Corps Marshal in charge of Administration and Human Resources, Pauline Olaye. Also in attendance was the Zonal Commander, Assistant Corps Marshal Joseph Toby, alongside the marshals and officers of the Edo Sector Command. In his welcome address, the Sector Commander, RS 5.1, Edo Sector Command, Corps Commander Cyril Matthew, described the gathering as a strategic initiative aimed at reinforcing the core values that define officers of the Corps.
As custodians of safety on our highways, the expectations placed upon us are high. The lives of countless road users depend on our vigilance. Let us therefore recommit ourselves to professionalism, lawful engagement with the public.
Speaking at the event, the Corps Marshal, represented by Deputy Corps Marshal Pauline Olaye, explained that the program was an urgent intervention prompted by recent operational reports which revealed concerning trends that cannot be ignored.
Over the past months, we have observed a disturbing decline in discipline. Let me state clearly and without ambiguity that such behaviors are unacceptable. They violate our regulations, contradict our core values. We must remind ourselves we were established to save lives and serve the public with integrity.
The program featured an interactive section during which challenges faced by officers in the course of duty were extensively discussed. Some officers who spoke said their commitment to duty had been renewed and strengthened following the sensitization program.
I'm going back to go and tell staff in my command what we have gained, and we expect that from this program there will be a total turnaround in our operational activities.
It has really impacted on us. We're going to take it further to make amends on those ways that need to be corrected.
I want to make a special appeal to road users. Ensure that you keep to the rules and regulations as it concerns the road.
From Benin, Jola Adeojo, ITV News.
The Jared Tinubu-led executive of the Edo State chapter of the All Progressives Congress has been re-elected for his second term of 4 years at the party's state congress held at the South Victor Waifo Creative Hub, Airport Road in Benin City. The Congress, attended by Governor Monday Okpebolo and party delegates from the 18 local government areas of the state, was witnessed by members of the APC National Congress Committee and officials of INEC. Government House correspondent Kingsley Uchebu reports.
Members of the APC across the 192 wards in Edo State unanimously affirmed the re-election of the 36-member state executive led by Jared Tenebe. Other elected principal officers include the Deputy Chairman, Honorable Sylvester Aibobo, Secretary, Engineer Lawrence Oka, and 33 others. The new executive, elected in line with Section 20, subsection 1 of the party's constitution, was presented before delegates by the chairman of the party's National Congress Committee, Honorable Kabir Ajana.
In support of the executive to be led by Emperor Jared Tenebe, say aye.
I advise you to remain humble in your victory and ensure that you carry everybody along in your day-to-day activity.
In his acceptance speech, the re-elected Edo APC chairman, Jared Tenebe, pledged to keep the party united and focused as it prepares for future elections. The executive also unanimously endorsed President Bola Tinubu, Governor Monday Okpebolo, and the former APC national chairman, who is also the senator representing Edo North, Senator Adams Oshomole, for a second term in office.
As we embark on this new beginning, I emphasize the urgent need for unity, cohesion, and inclusivity within our party and across the state.
Senator Adams Oshomole, in his remarks, commended the party's successful consensus arrangement and praised Governor Okpebolo for his efforts in fostering peace and cohesion across the 18 local government areas.
I believe you have paid your dues, and therefore the unanimity with which you are re-elected today is something that flows from what you have accomplished.
The event underscores the party's collective commitment to deepening internal democracy and heightens the political atmosphere in the state ahead of future elections. From Benin, Kingsley Uchebu, ITV News.
Some Benin City residents have called on Governor Monday Okpebolo to fix feeders roads linking Saple Road to ameliorate the untold hardship motorists and commuters are subjected to due to the ongoing construction of Adesua Flyover Bridge. Joy Obaisiagbo reports that the worst hit are joining roads linking Itete, which now serves as bypass.
As construction work continues, the pains residents and commercial drivers pass through has prompted them to cry out.
What we are all going through now is hell most of the time. The feeder roads are not good. The main road is being constructed. In the morning, it is terrible. The government has started well. We expect him to finish well.
Governor of the tribe, at least there are some all those Tete road, all those places may still try to do well for us because the order too much is.
Despite praising the governor's infrastructure efforts, they appealed for temporary measures to fix the feeder roads to ease the stress and hardship.
I commend the effort of the government. They are doing so much. But we appeal to the government to help us to mend the adjoining roads so that they go slow along Enoje, especially Enoje 83, would be easy.
To make life easier for the people, for the masses, I think they should have cleared most of the access roads. We have a lot of access roads here. Cleared all access roads, then put diversions, directing the people that you can use this, you can use this, you can use here.
The residents are hoping government and relevant bodies will address the situation, though the Ministry of Works in previous interviews assured that the affected street will be fixed. From Benin, Joy Obaisiagbo, ITV News.
The construction of a pipeline by Coca-Cola factory at Aduawa, Ikpoboka local government area of Edo State, extending through Upper Mission Extension to Ikpoba River to discharge industrial waste from the factory, has raised concerns from the locals, bringing to bear critical questions about the nature of the waste being released and its potential impact on the river ecosystem and the livelihoods of those who depend on it. Pius Nsogo has more.
Some community leaders voiced their concerns about the lack of public consultation and environmental impact assessment before the pipeline project commenced. They are demanding immediate action to protect their water source and preserve their livelihoods.
Went there to actually confront them, to ask them about the waste, about the health hazard that they are bringing to Ikpoba River.
Just want to know the content of the waste, one, then two, you guys say you have the environmental impact assessment thing.
Now this water, so now we they use till they bath, till they cook.
While Coca-Cola claims to have installed effluent water plants in all its Nigerian facilities since 2002, ensuring wastewater is treated before discharge, concerns by the locals remain about whether the waste being channeled to Ikpoba River meets regulatory standards. Professor Julius Iyasele, an expert biochemist, warns that improperly treated wastewater often carries toxic elements that may accumulate in the ecosystem, affecting water quality and rendering it unsuitable for drinking, irrigation, or consumption by aquatic organisms.
With the disposal of that effluent into Ikpoba River, it will increase the chemical and biological oxygen demand. What that means is that all aquatic organisms require oxygen for life are compromised.
Dr. Michael Obare Akarame, a lecturer in the Department of Environmental Management and Toxicology, University of Benin, said industrial wastewater can contain harmful pollutants that could degrade water quality. He emphasized the need for sincerity on the part of the company in ensuring that the right thing is done.
The community, the company of concern and government must sit together, and there should be a level of openness, especially from the aspect of the company. For government, it is time for them now to do more. There should be more monitoring of effluent from industries.
Edo State Commissioner for Environment and Sustainability, Honorable Nosa Adams, said his ministry will ensure strict monitoring and enforcement measures to enable compliance with national environmental standards and regulations enforcement agency guidelines.
We have asked the monitoring team of the ministry to follow it up seriously and be sure that they conform with the environmental standard and regulation. Ours is to ensure that the waste are treated with effluent plants, and proper remediation program is set out for the method or the best method to discharge the waste.
It is a known fact that Ikoba River is already battling pollution from abattoirs, markets, car washes, and other sources. And Benin City currently is grappling with growing environmental concerns. Directing chemical water to the river will further worsen the situation. From Benin, Pius Nsogo, ITV News.
Meanwhile, report just reaching us is that the Edo State Ministry of Environment and Sustainability has ordered Coca-Cola Company to halt the project until a proper assessment is carried out. If you just joined us, this is ITV Network News. We'll now move over to our Lagos Network Center where Marcelina is standing by. Mercy, over now to you. Since apologies for that technical hitch, well, right now we'll go for a break. When we return, the news will continue. Do stay.
Some days, there comes the Ugemobo Festival, which the Oba celebrates outside the palace gate. A pavilion is built of red cloth where rites are performed to drive away all evil spirits still unsatisfied by the year's sacrifices. The Ugemobo Festival is to commemorate an event in Benin history which dates back to 1504 AD.
Yari yari, Oba Tope! We do apologize once more for that technical hitch.
Moving on, the FCT Minister Yensam Wike has reaffirmed his commitment to promoting grassroots development and fulfilling the promises made during his campaign. ITV's Wisdom Obakemi reports that the minister gave the assurance during a thank-you visit to Buhari Area Council following the council's early declaration of election of results.
The FCT Minister, Yensam Wike, commended residents of Buhari for their active participation in the recent area council elections, describing the choice as a step in the right direction. He cautioned residents against individuals who only show interest during election periods, urging them to continue supporting leaders who genuinely understand their needs and are committed to delivering good governance.
Mr. President has directed me to say, because you are the first to be declared as the winner, that the incumbent chairman should let us know what we are going to do for the people of Buhari. I have said, and I want to say clearly again, we have no business to take somebody to Senate who does not understand what the people want.
The chairman of Buhari Area Council, Joshua Ishaku Musa, reiterated his commitment to accelerating development in the area. He also pledged to work closely with the minister, the president, and security agencies to ensure the safety of lives and property within the council.
We work assiduously with the security apparatus of Buhari so that we can secure life and properties. We're going to work together. As you can see, both APC and PDP are fused together. We're working together in recognition of what Ashwaju has done, in recognition of what the Minister of FCT has done. We can see developmental strides in Buhari.
From Abuja, Wisdom Obakemi, ITV News.
President Bola Tinubu has nominated Taiwo Yedele as the Minister of State for Finance, according to the presidential spokesman Bayo Onanuga in a statement made available to journalists on Tuesday. The former chairman of the Presidential Committee on Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms will replace Doris Uzoka Anite. Uzoka Anite will now move to the Ministry of Budget and National Planning as the Minister of State, her third portfolio in the administration. The presidential spokesman added, in 2023, Tinubu appointed Oyedele, a fiscal policy partner and Africa tax leader at PricewaterhouseCoopers PwC, to chair the Tax Reforms Committee. Oyedele, age 50, is a public policy expert, an accountant, and an economist. His appointment came months after Tinubu assented to the tax laws masterminded by Oyedele and his team. The federal government has banned the production and sale of alcohol in sachets and PET bottles below 200 milliliters effective January 1, 2026. The Director General of the National Orientation Agency, Malam Lanre Issa Onilu, made this known at a press conference to mark the official flag-off of a joint nationwide campaign by the National Orientation Agency, the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, and the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission on the enforcement of the ban on sachet alcoholic drinks in Nigeria.
The ban on the production and sale of alcohol in sachets and PET bottles below 200 milliliters is aimed at reducing underage consumption and associated public health risks, following a multi-year moratorium, with the Nigerian Senate backing its enforcement. Speaking at the press conference, NAFDAC's Director General, Professor Mojisola Adeyeye, citing research findings, stated that 47.2% of minors and 48.8% of underage persons procure alcoholic drinks in sachets, posing severe health risks due to high alcohol concentrations of up to 43% in some products.
Drinking alcohol as minors, as underage, will be closing opportunities for the future. As consumers, FCCPC is there to protect them.
On his part, the Director General of NOA, Malam Lanresa Onilu, said early exposure to alcohol significantly increases the risk of addiction and long-term dependency.
For too long, such alcohol has been dangerously accessible. It is inexpensive, it is portable, it is easy to conceal. In many rural and semi-urban communities, it became easier for a young person to obtain a high-strength alcohol than to access proper guidance and protection. It undermines educational attainment. It contributes to domestic instability and violence. It is linked to road traffic incidents, risky behavior, and declining productivity.
Our sanctions are quite severe. By the time we begin implementation, and which we are commencing immediately, Nigerians would know.
The NAFTA boss also warned of strict penalties for defaulters, adding that the C-34 bill would be enforced. From Abuja, Abigail Adiremi, ITV News.
The Pro-Chancellor and Chairman of the 13th Governing Council of Lagos State University, Babatunde Ogala, has called on staff of the Lagos State University College of Medicine to intensify their commitment to research and innovation as key drivers of the university's global recognition.
During the Council's annual tour of the university's campuses at Ikeja campus, home to LASUCOM, the Pro-Chancellor stressed that research must be given greater priority. Addressing staff at the Medical Science Building Auditorium, Ogala emphasized that cutting-edge research, strategic collaborations, and innovative thinking are essential to positioning the college and the university at large for enhanced national and international prominence. He disclosed that the Governing Council has developed a strategic plan aimed at elevating the university through strengthened research output, strategic partnerships, and improved access to research grants. The provost of LASUCOM, Professor Olufemi Do, informed Council that the college comprises 32 departments, 6 faculties, and 7 professional programs. He noted that LASUCOM plays a critical role in the training of the next generation of doctors, pharmacists, and medical laboratory scientists. From Lagos, Aibuji Korea, ITV News. During the Council's annual tour,
Lagos State Chapter of the All Progressives Congress has returned its state chairman Cornelius Ojelabi for another term in office. Aiboje Ikoria reports that the
Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu the incumbent state chairman of the All Progressive Congress, Pastor Cornelius Ojelabi, on his re-election, said the confidence reposed in him and his leadership style has translated to his victory.
We want to congratulate you once again for the entire delegate believing in your leadership, believing that you are the right man for the job. And all of you that have been re-elected or new ones that have joined, we want to congratulate you. The charge is very simple. You have a responsibility to take this party in the state to a level that it becomes a national reference point.
Governor Sanwo-Olu also called on party members to continue to follow the leadership foundation established in Lagos State by President Bola Tinubu while he was governor of the state.
We have demonstrated that the party is supreme. We have shown to everybody that for us in Lagos, we are imbibed and we are strengthened by the unity of purpose. We have demonstrated here this morning and into the afternoon that we have a single and a common purpose.
Pastor Jelabi was cleared to continue as the party's state chairman through a consensus arrangement with the party delegates who converged on Mobolaji Johnson Stadium, Oniko, for the State Party Congress. From Lagos, Aigboje Warrior, ITV News.
We'll go on a break. We'll be right back.
Some days, there comes the Ugemobo Festival, which the Oba celebrates outside the palace gate. A pavilion is built of red cloth where rites are performed to drive away all evil spirits still unsatisfied by the year's sacrifices. The Ugemobo Festival is to commemorate an event in Benin history which dates back to 1504 AD.
Yari yari, Ọba Tope.
The Oba of Benin added a colorful mood to the year's celebration as he walks round the city center amidst cheers.
Thanks a lot for staying tuned. A tax expert has urged the Nigerian Revenue Service to introduce a temporary waiver on late return penalties and interest charges to encourage voluntary tax compliance across the country. Dr. Ernest Agbegbe, an economist and financial expert, made the appeal in response to ongoing tax reforms under Section 66 of the Nigerian Tax Administration Act 2025. According to him, while many companies are willing to meet their tax obligations, accumulated penalties and interest, especially those generated through automated platforms such as Tax Promax, have created financial strains for businesses trying to regularize outstanding filings. Dr. Agbegbe says the current reform climate presents a unique opportunity for authorities to reset the compliance framework. He explained that a structured and time-bound waiver covering only late returns, penalties and interest, and not the principal tax owed, would encourage thousands of companies to clear backlogs. He adds that such a measure could increase voluntary compliance, boost immediate revenue inflows, reduce enforcement and litigation costs, and strengthen long-term trust between taxpayers and the government. Dr. Agbegbe stresses that the proposal is not a request for tax forgiveness, but a strategic move to improve compliance and accelerate revenue collection. He also reaffirmed his commitment to continued engagement with policy makers and regulators to ensure Nigeria's tax reforms remain fair, efficient, and sustainable. The minority leader and member representing Ovia Northeast Constituency 1 at the Edo State House of Assembly, Honorable Charity Aigwobarugia, has inaugurated key constituency project aimed at improving education and power supply across communities in the area. The project includes a newly constructed block of 6 classrooms at Elaba Secondary School, Ohun Community, and the installation of a 500 kVA transformer at Igweya Community. Joladojo reports.
Upholding legacies designed to impact generations, Honorable Charity Aigwobarugia inaugurated a fully furnished block of 6 classrooms equipped with chairs, desks, and a principal's office at Elaba Secondary School, Okunhun Community. In recognition of academic excellence, the lawmaker also awarded a scholarship to one of the students for outstanding performance.
It is my resolve that no child should be left out in the educational bracket. I have volunteered, whether as a member of the House of Assembly or not, to sponsor your education to the level you desire.
Meanwhile, at Igweya Community, which has endured prolonged power outages, a 500 kVA transformer was inaugurated by the State's Deputy Governor, Right Honorable Dennis Idahosa, represented by Honorable Julius Obasogie. Honorable Aigwobarugia, a short constituent of more developmental projects, describing the interventions as part of efforts to consolidate on his campaign promises.
I made the promise that if I be elected to become the member representing Ovia Northeast 1 in the House of Assembly, that cry of no will not be a matter of we want more. I want to thank you because what has happened is collaboration.
Community elders, school authorities, and students commended the minority leader, describing him as a promise keeper.
To our noble House of Assembly member, you are shown on what true leadership and service mean.
Every lesson taught within these walls will be a living testament to your incredible benevolence.
I
want to specifically thank our benefactor. If we had the power of giving chieftaincy title, we would have given him chieftaincy title.
From Benin, Jola Diljo, ITV News.
The Benin Traditional Council has insisted that Ogbeso is a quarter in Igosho, the neighboring village in Ovia Northeast local government area of Edo State. This was contained in a letter signed by the Secretary of the Benin Traditional Council, Frank Erabo, in response to a request by the legal advisor to Igosho, the neighboring village, Sir Edward Aigbangbe of Aigbangbe Law Firm. Erabo stated that the decision on the status of Ogbeso as a quarter in Igosho, the neighboring, was stated in a letter dated 4th November 2021, where the Jonwaye of Igosho, the neighboring, was mandated to oversee all the quarters in the village, including Ogbeso. It added that the decision was further reaffirmed by the palace on 4th November 2025. An APC aspirant to the Akoko Edo Federal House of Representatives in the 2027 general elections, Honorable Paul Johnson Afagase, has donated motorcycles, tires, and a renovated utility vehicle to security agencies in Akoko Edo local government area of Edo State. He says that the event, which was well attended by security agencies in Akoko Edo and other concerned groups, that the gesture is to boost security. Famous Sado reports.
The donation ceremony, which took place at the Nigerian Police Force Area Command in Ngara, Akoko Edo local government area, attracted party leadership, stakeholders from across the local government area. The APC House of Representatives hopeful, Honorable Paul Johnson Afagase, expressed deep appreciation to the security agencies for their relentless efforts in safeguarding lives and property in Akoko Edo. Afagase praised the Edo State Governor, Senator Mondo Okpebolo, for remaining strongly committed to ensuring the security and safety of residents across the state.
I believe that my people need to be secured. And the only way I can contribute my own quota for the security of my people is for me to provide these bikes and the vehicle and the tires for the security personnel.
The APC chairman in Akoko Edo local government area, Honorable Dikin Monday, commended Johnson Afagase for what he described as his consistent investment in the development of the area and unwavering commitment to the welfare of the people.
My brother here is very dynamic in his pursuit. I expect you all to dance this game.
Speaking on behalf of the security agencies, the area commander, Igara Oko Charles, appreciated Honorable Paul Afagase for the donations. Earlier, seasoned and experienced political leaders in Akoko Edo held a strategic meeting to deliberate on mobilization plans for Honorable Paul Johnson Afagase ahead of the forthcoming party primaries. Honorable Afagase solicited their support at the meeting for him to emerge the candidate of the party for Akoko Edo Federal Constituency, expressed appreciation to the leaders and reaffirmed his commitment to work with everyone for the progress of the party. The ceremony concluded with renewed assurances of collaboration between community leaders, political stakeholders, and security agencies to sustain peace and stability in Akoko Edo local government area. Thomas Sado, ITV News.
As preparations intensify ahead of the 2027 general elections, the special advisor to the Deputy Speaker of the Federal House of Representatives, Honorable Matthias Osobase Ehizua, has declared his intention to contest for the House of Representatives seat representing Asan West, Asan Central, and Igwebe Federal Constituency under the All Progressives Congress. Edo Central correspondent Chris Ameje reports that the declaration took place at the party's secretariat in Ekpoma.
Because of my relationship in the National Assembly, I can be a better
candidates to support development in Eastern West, Eastern Central, and Igbo.
Declaring his intention before APC leaders and supporters at the party secretariat in Ekpoma, Honorable Matthias Osobase Ehizwa expressed his passion for the welfare and development of Esan land, stating that he is seeking the mandate to better serve his people and fulfill their aspirations.
I'm the best candidate to represent this constituency. I'm currently a special advisor in the office of the Deputy Speaker in Federal House of Representatives in Abuja. So I understood the doings in National Assembly. I know how to bring developments, how to give a voice to Eastern West people, and how to give a voice to Eastern Central and Igbo people. I will ensure development comes to us.
I believe that this is really the call that the Uyele people have been crying for, the Eastern West people have been crying for, the Igbo people have been crying for, the Eastern Central people have been crying for. He's a selfless person. He's a person who is willing to go out of his way to make you happy. I can tell you.
Honorable Osobase Matthias Ehizwa, for a man like him, he has a very good heart. That is one thing I can vouch for him.
Receiving the aspirant and his supporters, the APC chairman in Esan West local government area, Edagode Okilu, alongside other party leaders, assured that the party would provide a level playing field for all aspirants to demonstrate their popularity during the party's primary election.
You are also an aspirant now. Yeah, we have other leaders that are not here now. As you have been reaching out, continue to reach out to them.
As the 2027 general election approaches, political aspirants across the constituency continue to intensify consultation and strategic engagement to secure their party tickets. In Ekpoma, Chris Omije, ITV News.
Elders and natives of Igeduma community in Ohuonde local government area of Edo State have reaffirmed Pa Enabahaye Ogbomo as the Donwe village head and Mr. Uyi Okyokpanwoyi as the Haigele youth leader of the community. The elders declared that an individual parading himself as an authority in Igeduma outside Pa Ogbomo is a false representative whose claims should be ignored and disregarded by the public. The made clarification during a briefing held in Benin City to address the leadership tussle in the village. Ikpomusa Ugiagbe reports.
Addressing journalists, Pa Enobahai Ogbomo, who identified himself as the Odiowe of Igeduma, duly approved by His Royal Majesty Ewaye II, Oba of Benin, accused some dissidents in the community for instigating unrest and disharmony among the people. Pa Ogbomo debunked claims that he was not initiated into the community's Elders Council and appealed to Oba Ewaye II, the Edo State government and other relevant authorities to intervene.
Ogerahi is using some youths as thugs to harass everybody.
Some elders, including Pa Brahma Igwagi, son of Eholo of Igeduma, and Mr. Joel Uhunoma Idiowe, said the appointment of Pa Enobahai Ogbomo was affirmed at the palace of the Oba of Benin, where it was reiterated that only a recognized Odiowe has the authority to appoint an Okaigele. On his part, Barrister Roland Osakwe said anyone trying to overturn the decision of the Oba of Benin will face the wrath of the ancestors.
Ogerahi is saying the Odionwe was not initiated into Elders Council. It is a lie. The palace said it is Odionwe that appoints an Okaigele.
The Oba of Benin has been vegetated on it. And that is where we stand. We are Igeduma citizens, and two, we will ensure that whatever the Oba has said is going to stand in Igeduma. Oba Atokpe. Yes, sir.
The Odionwe of Uyege died recently, and a new one has not been installed.
All efforts to reach Pa Ogeriahi Imovon proved unsuccessful. Independent television intends to take his reaction whenever he is willing to do so. Ikmomusa Ugiagbe, ITV News.
The rich cultural heritage of Ekpoma, the administrative headquarters of Esan West local government area, Edo State, was rekindled during the 2026 Ifoe festival. The celebration held at the Palace of the Onoji of Ekpoma, His Royal Highness Zaiki Anthony Abumere II brought together chiefs, natives of Ekpoma from within Esan land and in the diaspora, including traditional rulers from other parts of Nigeria. The report by Francisca Igenegbale is presented by Williams Yama.
Ihu Festival, which traditionally marks the beginning of a new year in Ekpoma, provided an opportunity to offer prayers for peace, unity, and a bountiful harvest. Highlight of the ceremony was the revered Inasa procession led by the Onoji of Ekpoma, His Royal Highness Anthony Ehizoji Abumere II. A major feature of the festival was the conferment of chieftaincy titles on deserving sons of Ekpoma. Among those honored was Chief Patrick Agbato, alongside other prominent personalities who have contributed to the growth and development of Ekpoma. The event featured rich cultural displays, traditional dances, beauty pageants, and presentation of awards to outstanding contestants. Majority Leader and member representing Eastern West Constituency, Edo State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Jonathan Ibamao, who represented Governor Modu Pebolo, in a good message, commended the people of Ekpoma for sustaining their cultural heritage.
This is our annual festival where we thank God for bumper harvest every two we do in life. This ceremony is used to commemorate same and at the same time to mark the end of the past year and the beginning of the new year.
Dignitaries present at the event were His Royal Majesty Monday Whiskey Uduhie the First Ovie of Ideje Kingdom, Vice Chancellor of Confluence University of Science and Technology, Osara, Kogi State, Professor Abdurrahman Asipita Salawo, Ibasebo Solomon Esquire, delivered a lecture titled The Need for Constitutional Rules to Regulate the Duties of Traditional Rulers in Nigeria.
We synergize in the traditional institution because we believe strongly that when one king is celebrating, we are all celebrating.
God bless our Zaiki. Zaiki, may you reign for a very long time in good health.
This is just officializing the closeness to the Zaiki.
We need to give constitutional roles to traditional rulers.
William ITV News.
The elders and youths of Akenuwa community located at Kilometer 8 Benin Saple Road in Ipoboha local government area have begun reopening access roads allegedly encroached upon by some property owners in the area. The exercise, supervised by the Okaigil of the community, Comrade Stanley Aigbe, involved clearing overgrown bushes and restoring adjoining streets to improve accessibility and strengthen security. Patience Osaogiwa reports.
Opening of adjoining streets in Akenwa community previously encroached upon by property owners. The road clearing initiative led by the newly installed Okaigele Comrade Stanley Aigbe is part of efforts to promote orderly development and enhance safety within the community. In an interview, community elders called on all landowners to present their original land documents for proper verification. They also urged property owners to begin immediate development of their plots. According to them, lands left undeveloped for years often become hideouts for criminal elements, posing security threats to residents. The elders commended the Okaigele for spearheading the clean-up and reopening of the streets, describing the move as timely and necessary.
We arranged the land by 200 before a road. Some of the road they block it, so we have to throw everything for the community people to pass. We have some land here, it's bushy. So we have to enter inside to know person who owns it, clear out the whole places where they block.
We just decided to know the genuine people who actually claim to be owner of this place, because most of the places we see say they just block the road, so on and so forth. We are afraid. So we want to know who is who. Let them come with their documents so that we go through it.
Everywhere is so bushy. Kidnappers used to rob people, camp people here all the time. They now decide to create road everywhere. So whosoever have plots along this community, they should all come with their verification to clarify their land so that everybody should go and work. We don't want bush anymore.
They maintained that reclaiming and reopening the affected roads will restore order, ensure free movement, and curb criminal activities in the area. From Akenwa community in the Kubaka local government area, Patience Osaugiwa, ITV News.
Jonasco Technical Enterprise has organized a freedom ceremony for 8 apprentices who have successfully been trained free of charge. The apprentices were presented starter packs to start off their business. Ikmomosa Ugiagbe has details.
As part of efforts to empower youths and disabuse their minds from social vices, the CEO of Jonathan Technical Enterprise, Jonathan Ogbehome, took it upon himself to train youths, especially from his community, Ogwa, Esan West Local Government Area, Edo State, in wedding works and spray painting. Recently, 8 of those apprentices who have successfully completed their training in wedding fabrication and spray painting were presented with certificates and working tools to start off their business in line with their training. In his remarks before the presentation, the CEO, Jonasco Technical Enterprise, Mr. Jonathan Ugbehome, said the gesture is to empower youths in Ogwa and assured of extending it to youths in neighboring communities. So
I will not touch I am 10% of our here. Though I'm happy that we'll be able to touch those who want to do job and I'm again a good job. They can learn work. So me go.
Some of the beneficiaries expressed gratitude to the CEO of Jonasco Technical Enterprise for the empowerment, thereby making them self-employed.
Not easy to carry pay come, free food, free work. I wish him long life and prosperity. God bless him because he have done enough. Jonasco do well in my life. We will be going higher. The company will not fall.
May God give you the strength so that he can do more.
I pray that God should lift Jonasco up.
The Onoje of Ogwa, His Royal Highness Zaiki Ehizoji, and some guests commended Mr. Jonathan Ugbehome and called on others to emulate him.
I haven't seen any kind of apprenticeship of this nature. We pray God to bless him, continue to enlarge his coast, and that he will continue to be a success and a blessing to Edo State.
What you are saying is also a testament to the good work he has been doing for Ogwa. So we really appreciate Jonasco.
Ikmomosa Ugiagbe, ITV News.
Another foreign scene, Israel says it has carried out new attacks on Iran's leadership compound in Tehran, including the presidential office. Report says every part of Tehran has been hit since Saturday. The Red Talking sports, Real Madrid missed the chance to move within 1 point of La Liga leaders Barcelona after Martin Satriano's spectacular strike gave Getafe a shock win at the Bernabeu. Satrino scored the winner before half-time when his breathtaking volley nestled into Thibaut Courtois' top corner, condemning the hosts to a second successive league defeat. It means Real Madrid 4 points behind Barca, having both now played 26 games. Madrid were again without Kylian Mbappe, as 27-year-old has struggled with an injury to the external ligament of his left knee since the end of 2025. Getafe's stubborn defense frustrated Madrid throughout the game as the home side were unable to score past David Soria. And that's it on ITV Network News tonight. Thanks a lot for watching. Good night.
certainly the best.